Bitcoin pulling back after nearly hitting that $70,000 mark. This comes as investors are piling into spot Bitcoin ETFs as optimism grows for clearer crypto rules after the presidential election. Here to discuss, we've got Brady Dale in studio with us. He is a crypto reporter over at Axios. And Brady, it's great to have you on set with us here. Talk to me about the moves that we've seen in crypto. Certain investors and analysts we've spoken with have certainly lumped it into the broader Trump trade. Do you think that that is the biggest driver here?
I think it's a really important driver. I mean, especially since you've seen as the prediction markets have started to move more in Trump's favor, like Bitcoin has moved up a ton of over $2 billion piled into Bitcoin in the last week and just into the ETFs last week. And so I think, it's people are looking forward to him winning, and that's a big part of it.
So how big of a risk is it for crypto investors if he doesn't win?
Well, I don't know that it's a huge risk to people betting the prediction markets. I don't know that it's that bad for crypto investors because Democrats are moving way more positively on Bitcoin. Like even Elizabeth Warren is saying I don't have a problem with people trading Bitcoin, which is very new. So, I think Trump would be better, but not as good.
What do you make of the flip-flop that we've seen from Democrats, just overall? And how is that being received from those within the crypto industry? Obviously, it's a welcome reception, but just in terms of how much of a shift we've seen it so quickly.
What I make of it is $160 million coming into the election from the crypto industry to influence, they're just responding to political realities. The crypto industry is really mixed. I'd say on the grassroots, people are just we don't trust the Democrats at all, 100% Trump. I think higher up, people also have less trust, but they are a little more willing to play both sides. But I do think most of the industry really does want Republicans. They've just been better for longer. They don't feel like they can trust Democrats.
I wonder then, in terms of what we're seeing in the betting market, there have been questions about whether or not it's one big whale who is driving up the bets on Trump. Is there a potential for that to also be true in what we're seeing in Bitcoin right now?
Well, people could be wildly over-optimistic. That is for sure true. Now, on the one big whale idea, all the betting markets have moved in the direction of Trump. It used to be that there was some split between them, but now they're kind of all on the same page at about the same amount. And it strikes me as pretty irrational to just throw a bunch of money away if you didn't actually really believe it or know something. That's the thing about prediction markets. It's just it's not just your opinion, but you got to put some money on the line.
Well, and that's interesting too, because it kind of refutes the idea of it being one big investor coming into the room. You think it's a broader.
I mean, I think there is a few really big folks pushing it, but I don't necessarily believe that it's purely just because they're MAGA folks. I think they must know something or believe something.
Brady, I'm curious. We had Anthony Papagliano on the show last week, I believe, and we were asking whether or not a Democrat versus Republican is better for crypto and who wins the White House. And he was just saying that there's so much skepticism overall within the crypto community that actually anything is going to get done regardless of who is in the White House when it comes to crypto regulation. I'm curious, where do you think the conversation sits today?
Well, I think Anthony's right on that point. There's a decent chance that nothing really happens, except for one thing. If Trump wins, Gary Gensler is almost certainly out. The tradition is he would just leave on his own, even though his term goes through 2026. But I did some reporting on this. It's never happened before, but Trump could just fire him like he said he wants to do. So that would be a gigantic difference, not having someone in the SEC who is just hell-bent on attacking the industry every single way he can. So that would definitely be a real change. It's less clear that Kamala Harris would replace him because she's got to put her next appointee through the Senate, and she may not want to go through that.
If what you just mentioned happens, if we see Gary Gensler ousted through whatever avenue, if Trump is in the White House, could Bitcoin, we're talking about 70,000, could it be six figures by year end?
There's a lot of money bet on it being six figures and has been all year long. The Deribit options market has a ton of people, millions of dollars has been saying that Bitcoin will break $100,000 at the end of the year. And this has been true for months now. So, some smart people think it could. I don't know.
We will see. Time is going to tell us. All right, Brady Dale, great to have you here in studio.
Thanks
so much for joining us.